Hello again. This is a short video to explain the basics of resistance welding, the standard resistance welding that are used to weld cars, and the way Inflatech is welding the PE screen to the screen supports. What is important to understand, so with the standard resistance welding, first of all, you have an AC welder, an alternating current welder. And this is a little sketch of what we're trying to do. So typically the resistance welding is you have two copper electrodes that can move. You have the two materials that you want to join. And with the standard welding, what is important, you have force, and that you apply force between the two materials, pressing it together, and then the welder is giving a pulse. So when it's giving a pulse, electricity wants to go around in the circuit. And what is happening is that you create heat here between the two metals. You melt the two metals together. What is important, that electrodes are made of copper, that you have force, and when you apply that, then basically the electricity that wants to go around will have less resistance between the electrode and the sheet, and also here, and it will have the highest resistance between the two sheets. And where there's resistance, you generate the heat with the electricity that wants to go around. So that's important to understand. So you need to minimize the electrical resistance between the electrode and this sheet and the electrode and this sheet, so that you have the high resistance between the two materials that you want to connect. So that's the standard welding method. Well, the Inflatech method is different. So we have the screen support and a thin screen, and we do not have two copper electrodes, but we have this little handpiece. Basically the same is happening. So instead of an alternating current welder, we have a DC, a direct current welder. This is why this unit is so expensive. Alternating current is cheap, direct current welding method is very expensive. But only with DC welding you can weld the thin screen to a screen support, because you have a better control on the weld. So basically what's happening is the same as here. You have a welder, you connect your screen support, the earth, to the welder, and you have the other cable to the handpiece. So basically the screen, you put it on the screen support, and what's important that you also apply pressure when you weld. For the same reason as in here, if you do not apply enough pressure, then you will have too much resistance between the copper electrode and the screen, and you start to weld here. So what is important, that you press the welding handpiece with sufficient force on the screen and the screen support, that the resistance is between the screen, the PE screen, and the screen support, so that you create resistance here, that the screen welds to the screen support. So the amount of pressure you have to apply, I cannot show you now, but it's like pressing with a finger. You should not press extremely hard, that's tiring you out. But when you do not have enough force, when you slide this over the screen, then you run the risk that there's not enough force between the electrode and the screen. You're going to generate heat between the electrode and the screen, and you burn a hole. So when you apply sufficient force, the heat will be generated between the screen and the screen support, and you weld it here. These are basically the principles you need to understand. So you need to apply pressure to eliminate resistance between the copper electrode and the screen when you do this screen welding. The next video is where we're going to try welding pieces of screen to screen supports. I will demonstrate you live how to do it, and basically it's learn by doing. If you understand the fundamentals, I think you're ready to start welding and learn by doing. Well, thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.